I need to talk about something that has been bugging me for 2 years now, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Mikal Bridges finally has a championship ring, and I still see people out there acting like he doesn't deserve his flowers. That ends today. If you agree with me, smash that like button right now before we even get into it, because this video is going to make some people uncomfortable, and I want the algorithm to know real Knicks fans are watching. Let's rewind for a second. When Bridges first got to New York, the man played almost 37 minutes a night, every single game, all 82 of them. That's not a typo. That a guy who never got a real breather, while half the league stars were sitting back-to-backs. And what did he get for it? Constant noise about the draft capital the front office gave up to bring him in. Every bad loss, every rough shooting night. Somebody was in the comments talking about the picks, not the performance. The picks. Then Mike Brown takes over, and one of the very first things he does is actually manage this man's workload. Bridges goes from basically 37 minutes down to around 33. A real number, a sustainable number. And guess what happens? The same people who complained he was overworked suddenly found a new thing to complain about. Because that's what this has always been about. It was never really about the minutes. I want you to remember the first round of these playoffs, because this is where it got disrespectful. Knicks go down 2 games to 1 against Atlanta, and instead of talking about matchups or schemes, half the national media turns it into a referendum on the Bridges trade. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith standing on national television saying the Knicks should have used those picks to go get Giannis instead. Drop a comment below and tell me how that take is aging right now, because I have a feeling a lot of you have thoughts. Here's what happened after that meltdown of a take. The Knicks won 15 of their next 16 games. 15 out of 16. And they didn't just squeak into a title. They walked out with their first championship in 53 years. 53 years, people. And Bridges was right in the middle of it the entire time. So if we're going to talk about the trade, let's actually talk about the trade instead of just repeating the same tired talking point from back in October. Now, let's get into why this guy is actually special, because I don't think casual fans appreciate the full package. Offensively, Bridges is basically the plug-and-play piece every single team in this league is chasing. He can catch and shoot off movement at close to 38% from 3. He can put the ball on the floor and finish drives at almost a 50% clip. He's not just standing in the corner waiting for a kick-out. He's creating offense. And on top of that, the man is quietly a real playmaker, averaging over 4 assists per 36 minutes. Plus, he's automatic from a mid-range, knocking down almost 47% of those looks last season. That is a legitimately complete offensive skill set, and I don't think it gets talked about nearly enough. If this is new information to you, drop a comment and let me know, because I want to see how many of you actually watch the film versus just repeating narratives. But here's the real reason I get heated defending this guy. It's the defense. This isn't a good defender for his position conversation. This is a top-of-the-league, elite-level defender conversation. Last season, he graded out in the 95th percentile for on-ball defensive difficulty. The 95th percentile. On top of that, he was in the 90th percentile defending isolations on the perimeter, and somehow even higher, the 98th percentile defending off-ball. That means whether the ball is in his hands or not. He's making life miserable for the other team's best offensive weapon. That's not a role player stat line. That's a guy who should be getting all defense consideration every single season, no debate. And you want proof it's not just a regular season stat padding thing? Go back and watch these playoffs. First round, he's chasing around smaller, quicker guards like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and C.J. McCollum, wearing them down possession after possession. Second round, they throw an all-NBA level guard him in Tyrese Maxey, and Bridges holds his own the entire series. Then in the Eastern Conference Finals, he takes on James Harden directly, and by the end of that series, Harden is shooting something like 3 for 17 from the field. 3 for 17 against a guy who's been cooking defenders his entire career. Then in the finals, he's got a rotation of Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Dylan Harper to deal with, and combine those 3 shoot 10 for 36 against him and this defense. Read that stat line again. That's not luck. That's a certified lockdown defender, doing exactly what championship teams need in June. And I haven't even mentioned the stuff that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Off the ball, Bridges finished last season in the 87th percentile for movement and the 91st percentile for what they call gravity, meaning defenses have to account for him even when he's not touching the rock. That opens up driving lane for Brunson. That opens up cutting lane for OG. Half the good stuff this offense generates has Bridges' fingerprints on it in ways that never make a highlight reel. So here's where I land on this. 2 seasons of noise. 2 seasons of people acting like this trade was some kind of disaster because of draft picks that hadn't even been used yet. And through all of it, the man just kept doing his job at an elite level on both ends of the floor. And now he's got a championship to show for it. If you're still out here doubting Mikal Bridges after everything you just heard, I genuinely want to hear your reasoning in the comments, because from where I'm sitting, this guy earned every bit of respect he's about to get this season. Before you go, hit that like button if you're tired of the disrespect toward this roster, and drop a comment telling me who you think steps up next for this Knicks team, because I got a video coming on that soon, and I want your take before I make it. Let's get this conversation going.